have taken the ice here at the Northwest Coliseum, led by Wayne Gretzky. The Oilers will try to make it 4 Stanley Cups in the last 5 years. The crowd here is on its feet. Don Cherry joins me now. What is it like for the Boston Bruins to go into this game in the wake of the 3-3 game that was lost?
Well, I'll tell you, it would have been so much better for them to win the game in Boston, because now Terry could have gone into the dressing room and said, listen, we win this game tonight here, it's 3-2 going back to Boston. Now he goes in and says, it's 3-1. We win, so it's going to be awful tough for them. But they got to get up, Boston Bruin, he never quits.
Charlie Huddy will play for the Oilers this evening. Andy Moog, of course, starts in this building. He was in goal the first time the Oilers ever captured a Stanley Cup. What's your feeling?
Charlie Huddy's all guts and heart, I'll tell you that. Sather wants to get him back in there. What a guy, Sather. He's played hard for them all year. He wants to get him back, even though they could be injured. The only way Boston Bruins can win this game is if Andy Moog is unconscious. He stands on his head. Going to be awful tough, but Andy's got to do it. Going to be awful tough tonight, because that other team, the Oilers, can taste blood.
You would think the Boston Garden would be the facility that would affect the play the most, but the Bruins have generated very little in the way of shots on goal here in Northwest Coliseum.
Well, I guess it is tough to get any shots on goal here. They've been killing penalties the whole time. Andy's doing the game tonight, and don't worry, it'll be officiated good tonight.
Well, this is Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Championship Series. It's the Edmonton Oilers and the Boston Bruins. Let's go ice level now for the national anthems and Paul L'Oreal.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and a bright star that would the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallant. Still
Good evening again, everybody. This is Bob Cole and Harry Neal in the broadcast booth. There's the man who handled the game tonight, Andy Van Helleman. Our referee, Ron Finn and Ray Scampanello, are the two linesmen in this one. And the goaltenders tonight. Andy Moog has been so close to a win of these finals in Game 1 and again on Tuesday in the canceled game. He gets another shot tonight for Boston. Grant Fuhr can set a Stanley Cup record with a win tonight. He's tied with Billy Smith, Patrick Waugh, and Ron Hextall with 15 victories each. And the Bruins are starting with Kluzak and Borton on the defense, Casper, Johnston, and Burridge up front. For the Edmonton Oilers, Messier, Anderson, and Simpson with Kevin Lowe and Craig Muni on the defense. And this game is underway. A win tonight for the Oilers, and that'll be it for another season and another cup. Edmonton, Simpson stopped near center ice. The Bruins knock it into the zone. Casper going in after it. And Fuhr banks it off the boards and couldn't get it up. Burridge in there trying to knock it loose. It goes to the corner again. Edmonton taking their time, but now speeding away is Messier. He's upended near center ice. Anderson trying to pick it up, and Burridge takes it for Boston. Burridge brings it back in. At the line, gets a shot. That was blocked by Smith. Burridge centered it. Score! Casper was open, and he fires it by Grant Fuhr, who was on the other side. And it's 1-0 Boston.
Well, it was a simple 2-on-2 coming over the blue line, and Randy Gregg gives up on his man. You can see he will take Casper. Burridge throws it across, and Gregg let Casper go. And Casper, at a very bad angle, put it in. That's all Smith can do. Gregg lets Casper go, and it cost the Edmonton Oilers a goal.
Bork and Burridge assisted on the goal. 43 seconds. And Boston strike early. Janney in after it. The Oilers are going to clear it out. That's Gretzky getting it back first, though. Now Gregg played it ahead. It's dumped to center ice, and Neely for the Boston Bruins. Leaves it with Talbot. He flipped it ahead. Joyce goes in there after it. Hooked back across the line to center ice, and Bork takes it. Bork shoots it to the far side. Joyce brings it back in, and Smith will cover up for Edmonton Oilers. 1-0. The Bruins get an early goal. Gretzky knew he'd been offside touching that, and he's going to play it anyway. Offside is called, and they'll bring it back.
Well, Steve Casper, one of the three finalists for the Frank Selke Trophy as the best defensive forward in the National League. Carbonneau and Eriksson are his competitors in that one. Casper's been unable to demonstrate his defensive skill because he hasn't played much against Gretzky. He got more points this year than any other year in the National League, and he gave us a little sample of some offensive skill on that bad angle shot to beat Grant Fuhr.
Little over a minute and a half gone in the opening period. The Bruins already with a goal. Linsman comes on now. Crowder to his right. They poke the puck in back to the net. And the Oilers go back to start out. Pass went in behind McTavish. Krushelnyski slapped at it. LeMay shoots it back in. And Huddy bumping on his first shift. He goes to the ice, though, gets back up, went after LeMay. LeMay shakes loose. LeMay gets set, takes a shot. That just missed on the short side. Oilers haven't had a shot yet. Up through center, here's McTavish coming in. Dropped it to Huddy on the left. He rolled it into the side of the net. Cordno behind the net trying to dig it out. Cordno gets away from a check. McTavish turning around in the zone away from Kluzak. Again, McTavish rolled it up behind the goal. Lacombe trying to center it. It came right through the crease. Here's Huddy's shot. That one missed on the short side. And LeMay will clear the zone for the Boston Bruins. Oilers dump it back in and make quick changes. Bull got to the net. Cleared to center. Muni went up there trying to pinch in and missed it. And Kevin Lowe comes back. Lowe's pass off the boards. Krushelnyski to the right side. And Ray Bork now flip one to center ice, and it'll go all the way. Kevin Lowe coming back. Lowe and around the net. Hangs on to it. Oilers starting to regroup. It's Acton. He has to go back again with O'Dwyer watching him. Now the pass to Kuchelinski, nearly intercepted by Larson. The Bruins are staying very close to the Edmonton Oilers here in the early going. Ray Bork checking again, and Fuhr has to come up with a big stop. Kasper won't keep it in. Bruins hustle back on side. Kasper backhands it high at the Edmonton blue line. Muni flipped it ahead. Cross center, and it's cleared into the zone. Again, Edmonton making changes as they come up to the 4-minute mark of the opening period. 1-0 Boston. Kasper can't find it. On that left side, Burridge gets it out of his own zone. Smith shoot it back in, lifting it high, and up onto the boards to the left of Andy Moog. And we've got a penalty coming up now. This is going to be against the Boston Bruins. First penalty of the hockey game. The Edmonton Oilers trailing 1-0. Now go on a power play. Penalty of the hockey game, Ray Bork, and it's for high sticking here at 3:55.
Well, Glenn Anderson was the victim, and he got it up as he saw Anderson coming in to throw the body check. Anderson missed him, but Bork carved him with the stick anyway, and for that he'll serve 2 minutes. And the Oilers' power play, which really came to life in the playoffs this year, will now get a chance to tie the game.
Messier with Gretzky and Anderson. Curry is on the ice now and stopping the puck at the blue line. Curry gets in a good position, gives it to Anderson. He centered it to the Bruins, intercept, and they just clear it out of the zone and down the ice. Fuhr will come out to try to speed things up for the Oilers. Goes to Gretzky at the other side, and Gretzky is turning now and coming away. Gretzky to the line to center, played it ahead. Messier going in there, and Talbot stayed with him. Messier with the puck goal, played it on the boards to Gretzky. To the line to Curry, to Gretzky again. Moving up, a pass to the far side was intercepted, but they don't clear it out on the first try nor the second. Talbot goes behind the net. Moog there, nearly gave it away, but he got it to Linsman, and he flipped it up to Middleton. Middleton gets as far as the Edmonton line, hangs on to it, now loses it to Curry. Curry ran into difficulty against Kasper, so Anderson comes back to help. Messier missed the pass. It was on his skate. Smith brings it up, gets it off the boards down the ice. This is going to be icing. With Larson back, icing in fact is called against the Edmonton Oilers. You get the feeling, Harry, that the Oilers are looking just a little bit flat in the early going of this game.
Well, sometimes the flow of adrenaline gets in the way of how you play. Glenn Sather told me this morning that in every other series this year in the playoffs, his team got better as the series progressed, and although they're down 1-0, he expects his Oilers to play their best game of the playoffs tonight.
Edmonton has 28 goals in the playoffs. The Islanders of 1981 had 31. Power play goals, I should say. The 28 now. But so far this power play, rather anemic. 45 seconds left in the penalty to Bork. And the Oilers move up. Looking for Gretzky, but the pass went by him. Huddy slapped it in. Now Huddy moves up on Burridge. Oilers keep it in. Messier couldn't stop that wicked pass. And the Bruins shoot it down the ice again with 25 seconds left of the power play. And Andy Moog has had little to do. Oilers have had just one shot so far. That was not at all difficult. Bruins back covering in the zone. Into the corner, Simpson can't find it. The Bruins are going to clear it out. They'll kill this penalty. As O'Dwyer brings it in, dropped it back, and Fuhr covered on that quick shot. Here come the Oilers, led by Gretzky. Coming in, winding up, shoots. It's deflected high by Talbot and into the crowd. Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada.
Nick Bolton here with the newest addition to our tactical line, the Bell & Howell Tax Shaver. Tax Shaver gives you a quick, razor-smooth shave, whether you're at home or on the go. It even has a built-in trimmer for sideburns and beards. And it works wet or dry for a great shave in even the harshest conditions. The Tax Shaver is completely waterproof.
Act now to get your tax shaver for just $29.99 with free shipping and is backed by our 10-year warranty. Order yours today.
Tonight, go behind the scenes with great documentary series. First, get to know the Wild. Then later, get on the road to the 2015 Winter Classic.
Now you know we're going to be part of that history.
It all starts tonight, 6 Eastern, on NHL Network.
Terry O'Reilly said if his team plays with the intensity and determination they played with in Tuesday's game in Boston, we'll give the Oilers all they can handle. It started that way.
Started that way with a goal at 43 seconds from Casper. Score! The Oilers have tied it just like that.
And Jeff Courtnall, a former Bruin, gets his first goal of the playoffs. What a horribly long slump he's been in, and he is the goal scorer. This happens very quickly and in a harmless little play. Throw it into number 19, Lacombe. Lacombe scored it, not Courtnall, and he fired it quickly by an Andy Moult who seemed surprised by it, couldn't get out and cut the angle down.
Lacombe ties the score for Edmonton. That's only the second shot on goal by the Oilers. And a big one it was. Now Edmonton in after it again. It's centered and through the crease. And Neely will bring it back up for Boston. Neely across the line. Dropped it up the line of Bork. Shot blocked by Grant Fuhrer. And Fuhrer holds it. Tonight's game is coming to you from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. A slashing penalty here to Mark Messier of the Edmonton Oilers and a two-man power play for Boston.
And here's one reason why it's no fun playing against Messier. A short 18-inch chop, and Janny goes to the bench, writhing in pain. The ice bag's on it already. Mark Messier with that miserable streak that shows up most often in the most important games.
The Bruins with Linsman, Sweeney, Crowder, Bork, and Wesley. Make that Larson now. Along with Bork, the defenseman. A minute 14 left in the Tikkanen penalty. The Bruins were leading 1-0. Oilers tied it. Now the Bruins have a great chance to take advantage. Maybe get a couple. They'll have to hustle as Bork has to go back. Bork now has to circle back again with Acton in there. Now coming out. Bork plays it to center to Linsman. Linsman rolled it into the zone. That is Gregg going back. Played back to the line to Bork. Bork to the side of the net to Linsman. Linsman gets ready. He shoots. That stuff is good. The Bruins get a goal, and Tikkanen's penalty will end. Messier has a minute and 32 seconds left.
Well, Boston, Terry O'Reilly, his team faced 3 two-man short situations in this series already. This is Boston's first long shot at it. Furst makes the first save, but the second one is batted in through his legs. Lots of people in front of the net. I think the goal.
Scored by number 13,
Kenny Linsman, who played for a Stanley Cup winner here in Edmonton. The Bruins go up 2-1. Still on the power play.
Wesley remains on. Bork to the left side will take his pass off the boards and trouble controlling it. Gretzky slides it back and Curry slapped it off the boards and down the ice. Linsman, the power play goal from Bork at 9:44, giving the Bruins a 2-1 lead. And they come back to center ice now. And in goes Neely. Neely trying to pass it, but Curry stopped the pass. Gretzky is up there with him. So is Smith. And Gretzky went in offside with Curry making the move at the blue line. 54 seconds left in Messier's penalty.
Well, Wayne Gretzky's a finalist for 3 NHL awards. He's won 25 up to this year. The Lady Byng, his competitors, Naslund, Newendijk, the Hart, Lemieux and Fuhr, and the new King Clancy Trophy awarded, given to the player displaying outside, outstanding contribution to the game. And don't forget the Conn Smythe. McTavish got hit in the jaw, and the masseuse is giving him a little bit of quick work.
Sam Neely gave him a ride along the boards on his last shift. Bruins lead this one 2-1, and they're still on a power play. Will be for another 45 seconds unless they pop one again. Here's Crowder coming in, centers it. Gretzky after it. It's still in his zone. Talbot to the other side. Larson's long pass into the corner. That's Wesley over there at the far side getting set. The puck goes to Talbot. Now he'll shoot it. That's tipped high over the net. Slapped back in front of the goal, but Lowe was there up to Gretzky. One man back. Gretzky coming in there. Winds up. Lets her fly right at Moog. He made the stop with 10 seconds left in the Oiler penalty in the Bruins. One more time to center. Johnston skates in with it. Johnston to Casper. Casper circles away. Now Burridge slides it back and came out over the line. Messier is on the ice. The penalty over. But the Bruins have the lead on a power play goal here in this first period. Bruins have been holding the territorial advantage over Edmonton also. And Sorley now trying to change things for Edmonton with Messier. Sorley bumped. He went off balance. The puck behind the net. Messier in there. And he lost it. Long pass just too far for Casper to knock down. He was skating through center, and that's icing against Boston. Hockey night in Canada.
Hey everybody, be sure to check out the NHL Player Gaming Challenge presented by Honda. You can watch players from every team battle head-to-head in EA Sports NHL 20. Brought to you by Honda, the official vehicle of the NHL.
If you're like 58% of Americans, you don't have a college degree. Why?
It was just a hassle going back and forth to campus.
At Independence University, all classes are online. No driving to campus.
All the fees and the costs of books?
We don't have extra costs. We even give you a new laptop and tablet to keep when you graduate.
4+ years to get a degree?
With us, you could finish in 3.
At a big college, no one cares.
Caring about students is what we do best.
1-800-213-2512.
Your favorite hockey personalities have moved, but their opinions remain.
4 points. If you're not within 4, you're out of there. Get the SPF one. You had all year to be in the playoffs.
NHL Now. New episodes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
The Boston Bruins, their backs to the wall again. Taking the lead in this first period over the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers trying to clinch their 4th Stanley Cup. So far, the Bruins have been taking it to them. 7-3 are the shots in favor of Boston. Here's Messier coming up with it. Messier didn't get the pass away on the first try. Now has to shoot it in. Simpson and Anderson on the line with him. And the Bruins will clear it out down the ice. It's going to be another icing if Smith can get back in time. Middleton giving chase. Smith there. And icing called against Boston.
Well, Michael Sullivan returning to action after taking that hit from Marty McSorley and did not play the game Tuesday in Boston. He has those European skills. Great skater, very good handling the puck, and it especially shows up in that small Boston Garden. I think he's a better defenseman than most people think he is. Watch for him, folks, coming off the offensive blue line into the slot after Boston's had some control of the puck in the offensive zone. He knows when to do it, and he knows what to do with the puck when he gets it.
Gretzky, Curry, Tikkanen for Edmonton. Yanni, Joyce, and Neely for Boston. Curry goes after it as Gretzky won the draw. Moog steps behind the net. It'll be stopped by Lowe. No, skipped off his stick. And down the ice, and Neely going in there. Kevin Lowe played it away, out across the line. Larson tapped it back. Buzak feeds it ahead. Tikkanen all the way back there with Kevin Lowe. And here's Lowe moving up. Lowe's rink-wide pass. That finds Curry. Look out! Stopped by Moog. Nice save by Moog. On that shot, he was out cutting the angle that time. Muni knocked to the ice. Neely coming in. Neely breaking for the net as Larson took the shot. And that's blocked in front of the goal. The Bruins still on it. Larson can't keep it in. It came out over the line. And it's offside called. A little pushing and shoving down here with Tikkanen.
How good the rookie played so the short game Tuesday night. Size is not his asset. Brains and hockey ability, that's what he relies on. Terry O'Reilly has to be very pleased with the start of his Boston Bruins. Yari Curry had a good hard shot, but from a bad angle on the outside, and Andy Moog, look how far out he is. Curry's got to shoot it harder and more accurately from there than I think he can to beat Moog. But this guy can shoot it, and when he does, often the puck has eyes.
McTavish with Cardinal and Lacombe. Lacombe has an Edmonton goal tonight. Here's Bort. Long shot stopped by Fjord. Into the corner. Huddy dumped it along the boards. Bort there, slapped it in front of the net. And McTavish and Cardinal come out with it. And in behind the play, a Boston player down. That's LeMay. Right in front of the net.
And Marty McSorley's getting blamed for it. It happened about 50 or 60 feet behind the puck as the Oilers were coming out of their own end. And it looks like it might be his shoulder. The Bruins are talking to Andy Van Hellemond. And it looks like the guilty party is Keith Crowder. It was after the rush here. There's LeMay in front. And it didn't look to me, although I don't think LeMay ever touched the puck, so it might be interference. But anyway, the Bruins now have to kill a penalty. I can't understand that call. LeMay went down and had to go to the dressing room for repairs, and the Bruins get the penalty.
Hooking is the call against Crowder.
He didn't hook LeMay, did he?
That had nothing at all to do with the play down near the goal. I think the penalty came in the center ice area.
Well, Van Hellemond was skating away as the Oilers were. Didn't see that one.
McTavish was pulled down near center ice. Oilers in there now, sliding a low shot was Gretzky. Pass back to the net, and back to Smith near the line. Just keeps it in. Now the Bruins get it out of the zone. Bort is coming up. Bort passed it in behind Casper. Casper lost it. Dropped back by Simpson. Here's Messier to center ice. Messier forced to go to the outside. Gets a pass back, but it came across the line. And Curry now waits. Curry backs up in his own zone. Waits. Stick handled away from Casper. A dangerous move right in front of the net. Burridge played it out. Smith brought it in, and offside called at the Boston blue line.
Well, the Boston Bruins have been very deserving of their 2-1 lead. Buzak got hurt. He either blocked his shot to his chest or he hurt his shoulder. You can see he's in some pain on the bench. I'm sure he'll be back. The Bruins defense becomes a lot more involved in the offense when they play 6, as they did in the short game plus tonight. And also, Larson and Hogwood give them a little offensive spark, as does the return of Talbot. And much of the Bruin offense comes from their good defense.
Casper scored first. Lacombe tied it. And then Lindsman got a power play goal for Boston. They're leading 2-1. 5.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Oilers on a power play. 50 seconds left in the Boston penalty. Crowder's in the box. Anderson comes in after it. Wesley covered him. Tikkanen slapped it in front. Bad pass stole right under the stick of Middleton. He just skates down the ice with it. Now loses it. Tikkanen moves it up to Gretzky. Gretzky and Tikkanen go in with Anderson. Gretzky back to the line to Curry to Gretzky. Back to Curry. He slapped it. Stopped the score. Anderson. Oilers power play goal. Anderson right in front, tipping it by Andy Moog.
Well, if you let Wayne Gretzky set up on the right side of the rink as they're coming down, you'll make. Here's the mistake, though. Rick Middleton trying a back pass, killing penalties. If he'd have dumped it deep, there would have been the has trouble. But here's where Gretzky operates the best from. It's coming back to Curry. One times it. That doesn't end up in a goal, and Anderson goes to the net and gets a stick on it and puts it in to make it 2-2.
I'm not sure, but that one off the skate of Kluzak right in the crease. We'll check the official scoring play in a moment for you. Center is Atkin. Tipped it back in. Bushelniski lifts a high one. Kluzak in there. Played it on the boards. Oilers now have tied the game and are looking more like a team that wants to win tonight. Bruins, though, have owned the first half of this opening period. 7-4 the shots in favor of Boston. And the referee wants to move the puck. Here's the announcement on the goal. Yes, it did hit Kluzak's skate. Tikkanen got the goal. In fact, Anderson didn't touch it in the crease.
Well, Anderson went to the goal, and he was tied up by Kluzak, and you were right, Bob. It went off the Boston player's skate. There's Anderson in front. He nearly gets killed with the shot from Curry. And you can see as Bourque was going to take Anderson out, the puck hit Kluzak in the skate and redirected into the goal. There's the shot they should have scored on. Here's the one they do score on. Looked like Anderson tipped it, but Bob Cole, with that 30-20 vision, knew it all the time. It was Kluzak.
Well, Tikkanen gets the goal. Curry and Gretzky assisting, 15:03. And it's a power play goal. Here's Lacombe now moving up. Lacombe to the side of the net with it. Mowed down. And Bourque takes over. Bourque played it behind the net. Out it goes along the boards, and the Bruins get it out to center ice. Bourque is moving in there. Johnston had the pass on his skate. McTavish trying to catch up to it with one man back, and all good. A good skater was back there quickly. Bortno lost it. Kasper coming in there. Kasper to the line. Played it off. Right in front Burridge. And Pure makes a big save on Burridge. Puck is still loose now. Pure has it. And he hangs on to it.
Pure made a great save on Burridge, who tried to go, fake going across in front of the goal, and came back to his forehand as he's a left-handed shot, but Grant Fuhr wouldn't go for it.
Big save by Fuhr with the Bruins coming right in on top of him.
Grant Fuhr playing his 37th straight playoff game for the Oilers. Makes a superb stop to keep this game tied. A nice pass by Kasper to Burridge. Watch Burridge. Fake coming across, go back to his forehand. Fuhr didn't go for the fake. He lost the puck as he went up in the air, but his defenseman covered up for him.
O'Dwyer has Sweeney there now. And Middleton for the Boston Bruins. Bushelniski gets a pass too far for Messier. Wesley hurries back. He's on there with Talbot. Tried to shoot it out off the glass. Gregg played it back. Oilers in after it now. Here's Messier to Simpson. The pass behind him. Simpson giving chase. Talbot got away from him, and it's cleared by Middleton out to center ice. Smith turning. Steve Smith lifts a high one into the Boston zone. Wesley takes a look. He sees Simpson and Messier come in. Messier hit him hard. There's Messier chasing Wesley again. And he drills him over there, but Messier goes down. And the Oilers come back. Simpson had difficulty holding it. Kick loose. And now McSorley, a pass ahead to Anderson. He shoots it into the Boston zone. 2.5 minutes left in the opening period. Again, Bourque. Rink wide pass. He saw Crowder up there. Crowder tipped it through the middle to Kluzak. He failed to control it, but did shoot it into the zone. Huddy back. Tikkanen ahead to Gretzky. 2-on-1 here. This is Curry with McSorley. Curry shoots it right on. And Moe makes the stop and hangs on to it. Curry speeding in, hoping somebody would catch up to him, but he had to shoot it. Coliseum, the 2-2 tie. A game that could see the Cup won should Edmonton get it going tonight, but the Bruins want to extend the series. And they're going in there again. Janney tried to deke his way through. Nobody would buy his moves. And the Oilers just cleared it out. The Bruins are calling the offside now. What we have for you in our first intermission tonight. Let's go to Ron McLean.
Thank you, Bob. In the intermission, we'll chat with Glenn Wesley of the Boston Bruins. Wesley scored 2 goals the other night, including this beauty where he steals the puck from Wayne Gretzky, and then, like every youngster's dream goal, he goes on to beat Grant Fuhrer. We'll talk to Wesley about the 2-goal performance and the bizarre events that occurred Tuesday night as well. Don Cherry is along with his thoughts in tonight's game in the Coach's Corner.
There's Wesley. And he's a minute and 55 playing time away from talking with Ron. I'll tell you what we don't have here at the Northlands Coliseum. We don't have the fog. Boston has that. The lights are all pretty good here. Boston did not have that the other night, but Boston did have a much noisier crowd. They're right into it.
I think you'll hear this one as the game closes down to the end if the Oilers are in position to win the cup.
This is Gretzky coming in. Soft pass to low, right in front it goes, and Curry tried to tip it by Moog, and Moog went down and made the stick save. Over the glass into the crowd at the far side. Moog alert on that play.
Well, one thing Moog's got going for them that most goalies that face the Oilers haven't is he stopped hundreds and hundreds of shots from each one of these Oilers sharpshooters. I don't know whether that helps him, but I'll bet that he does some anticipating in there based on how often he has seen the Oilers shoot it and how often he's had to stop it in practice. Glenn Sather loves the matchup of Janney, and he puts Wayne Gretzky out against him.
Acton is out there now against Casper. And the face-off near center ice. Ray Scapanello set to drop it in. Acton waiting for Casper to get the stick down. Now they finally drop it in. Puck to Krushelnyski, who tips it into the zone. Wesley back. Didn't waste any time clearing it away. Couldn't get it out, though. It'll be carried to center. Burridge going in. Burridge, soft shot up high. And Fuhrer stopped it. Now he puts it back into play. Hooked it away along the boards. Bork stopped it there. Took a shot, and this time Fuhrer skates out of the net before he clears it. Played off the boards to center ice. We're down to 1 minute now left in the first period in a 2-2 tie. Smith back to the net, leaving it for Acton. Starting out for Edmonton, Krushelnyski to center. Acton up on the play. He dumped it into the left of Moog. Moog played it away. Didn't get it out himself. The Bruins will carry it out. 45 seconds left as Kluzak goes in. Kluzak around McSorley. He centers it. And Sweeney is covered by Krushelnyski. Sweeney again now tied up. Bork on the puck. Broken up. And cleared out of the zone by Krushelnyski. He's in there with Anderson trailing the play. Krushelnyski goes down. Puck comes right to him. And he just holds it there with 20 seconds left in the first period, and a face-off now coming up in the Boston zone to the left of Andy Moog.
Well, Raymond Bork gave you another example of one of his greatest abilities, the ability to recover when he takes a step in the wrong direction, because he was caught on that run. His great skating ability, he caught up to the play and turned what could have been a dangerous 2-on-1 into a harmless 2-on-2.
The Edmonton player forcing the stoppage, of course. They bring it outside the blue line. Lindman against Messier, only 20 seconds left. And the Bruins win the draw. They control it back in their own zone. Talbot skates across the line to center. He hits Sweeney with the pass. Sweeney was checked. Now Anderson drops it back to Messier. 8 seconds to play in the period. Lowe coming up with it. The long shot is off the net, and it just rolled in back of the goal as the siren goes to end period number 1. The shots even 8 apiece.
Well, no one won the short game, but it's obvious that the Boston Bruins acquired some confidence in that game because it's showing up here tonight, and the Edmonton Oilers might have thought that this would be an easy one. are 40 minutes away from the Stanley Cup, but they may be 40 difficult minutes.
Tough 40 minutes. And the score at the end of the first period. Edmonton 2, Boston 2.
Well, between periods, I'm sure Glenn's say they're dispensed with any reference to strategic alterations to his game plan and said, boys, get skating or we'll be heading east again.
Messier against Burridge there. Simpson comes up with a shot. A hard drive. And Moe got a piece of it. It went high onto the glass. Oilers shoot it back in right to Moe. He scooped it away for Telvin. Telvin slides it in front of his own net for Wesley. Lots of room to move it up to Burridge, but he didn't have too much room to go by Muni, who hit him. Simpson flipped it back. Now Messier takes the pass at center. Messier rolled it in. Simpson falls. And Telvin takes over for Boston. Slides it ahead. Kasper racing in there. Penalty coming up. Third shot. Oh, what a save by Fuhr on that shot. But there's a penalty coming up against Simpson of the Edmonton Oilers on the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. The Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC. Here at 52 seconds into the second period now. The Bruins with the man advantage, and Kluzak takes over after the draw. Janney along the boards, back to Kluzak again. Over to Ray Bourque. Took a shot, and Fuhr had to be careful. It came off the boards quickly. Oilers shoot it out and down the ice. Gretzky, a penalty killer, got rid of it. Curry comes on to join him. Gregg and Smith, the other two Oilers. Defending against the Boston power play with Bourque, Joyce, Janney and Neely and Kluzak. Bourque has to go back again. Goes to the right side. Neely coming up with Janney and Joyce. It's fired into the Edmonton zone. Gregg back there first. Gregg met by Janney. Neely gets it to Janney. He got in front and Fuhr kicked it away. Bourque stopped it near the blue line. A pass off the boards for Kluzak. Kluzak is stopped. Gregg shoots at it. Can't move it. Bruins trying to get something going on this power play now. The score is tied at 2 and the Bruins are on the puck. It's centered, but Curry is there and Gretzky skates out there with him. Curry brings it across the line. Hangs onto it. Now goes to Gretzky. Centered it. Right in front of the net. Big Smith lost it. Here's Curry. Hard backhander. Curry is not flying in the corner by Middleton. Here's Linsman now moving up. Messier ran into his man at the blue line. That's Crowder who took the shot from Messier. Messier now coming in. Messier's shot deflected. And into the crowd.
Well, those ever dangerous Edmonton Oilers, especially with Curry and Gretzky killing penalties, tested Andy Moog and the Boston Bruins. And the teams are starting to get a little upset with each other. And that was happening in the incomplete game in Boston before it ends. Here's a 2-on-2. Curry and Gretzky. What a break Gretzky gets. And almost Smith, who had gone very deep to the net when you consider they were shorthanded, was a little unlucky, didn't tap a pass in Gretzky. Gretzky got a little luck on the touch.
Messier and Crowder now appear to have something going. Messier went into Crowder with a stiff jump up near the Edmonton blue line. Really hit him. Here's Anderson around the net. Down goes Moog, and Anderson somehow picked up the puck and very quickly got in front with a backhander, and Moog was tested from very, very close in.
Glenn Anderson, he can cut in from impossible angles. He cut in from behind the net this time. A giveaway by Wesley. Look at this. That great skating ability and ability to turn and handle the puck. Anderson gets a good opportunity.
Moog had to be very careful on that face-off. It came right to him on the short side. And now the penalty to the Edmonton Oilers is over. Messier back slapped it in wide of his own net. And a little high sticking and shoving in the corner. The officials get in there. And they get Crowder away. He and Messier, I'll tell you, they have something going. Live on CBC. And the face-off now to the right of Andy Moog in the Boston zone. Acton comes in against Janney. And there's the draw, comes back to the blue line. Uni might get a shot through traffic. Kicked away by Moog. Uni again stops it, keeps it in. Lays it up on the boards. It goes back to the net. McClellan is stopped by Larson. Larson chases the puck. McClellan ran into him. Here comes Krushelnyski. McClellan goes behind the net, but Moog beat him to it. Uni kept it in. Took a hit as he did. McClellan moving up on the puck. The Bruins get it as far as the line. It's stepped in again by Uni. McClellan circles the net. Krushelnyski just missed the far corner with a weak shot. Again, Krushelnyski for Acton. Acton is stopped. Kevin Lowe pinching in. McClellan back to the net. Centered it. Score! Krushelnyski. Well, it's great, Harry, when the checking line comes through for you with a goal that gives you the lead.
Some great forechecking by the Oilers, especially Kevin McClellan. They nearly scored on that exact play about 30 seconds ago. And Mike Krushelnyski gets himself in the clear as Craig Janney watches the pass out instead of looking to see who is behind him. And Kuzak could not get to McClellan fast enough to prevent the pass. And the Oilers, who have been skating at half speed, now have a 3-2 lead. And that may be just what they needed to put it in overdrive.
Krushelnyski's fourth of the playoffs. McClellan and Lowe assisted. And 6:38 is the time of the goal. 3-2 now. Edmonton. The Bruins are in there quickly, though. Cardinal intercepts the pass and goes to center. Cardinal stopped by Bork. Smith carries on with a shot that Moog blocked. Pounder flipped it out across his own line. Oilers dumped it back in. Play called. Lacombe in on the boards. He's bumped by LeMay, and they have to give them a part.
LeMay, who went off looking like he had a shoulder injury. This is his first shift back. He had a nice backhand on offense and collided with Norman Lacombe in his own zone.
So there'll be penalties handed out here.
Lacombe, 2 minutes each for roughing.
7:08.
The time, 7 minutes, 8 seconds.
LeMay and Lacombe. So the Bruins behind in the hockey game now. Start back out. O'Dwyer takes the puck to center. Got as far as the line, and Curry took it away. Wesley flipped it back in. Bruins are trying to get back on side. Now the play will continue. And here's Gretzky coming through open ice. Gretzky moving up, winds up. Drills it off the net goal. Gregg to the other side. Smith drive. That's deflected. And Moog nearly knocked it in himself. Gretzky lost to the Middleton. Curry falls. Middleton goes up there. And put it right on a Curry stick. Gretzky soft pass on the left side. Tikkanen breaks in, and Talbot staying with him, but he draws a penalty on the play. And the Oilers will have the man advantage. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC.
When the Oilers crank up the speed, here's what happens. And Talbot, who was decoyed out of his underwear by Wayne Gretzky on an earlier shift, has to tackle Tikkanen after Tikkanen took a nice short flat pass from 99. The Oilers are coming, and I'm afraid the Bruins are going.
Let's see how this power play works for Edmonton now. Not been too fortunate. The Bruins have been doing a pretty good job holding this powerhouse of so many fast skaters and sharp shooters. If they don't hold them here, it could be done. I know it's only early in the game, but it's 3-2 now Edmonton, and a power play goal here could get this guy and his mates really fired up.
Well, Wayne Gretzky, he's moving a little better this period. What a move he put on Michael Talbot. Watch Talbot disappear here, number 22. Looks like he fell down in a manhole. He gets going the wrong way, and Gretzky lets quite a shot go in. Vogt hasn't seen it yet, and they missed the net.
Huddy is on the ice with Curry taking his pass and shooting it in. Crowd sensed something about to happen here at the Northlands Coliseum. Another goal could really get the Bruins in a deep, deep hole. And Bork is forced to go back. Messier slammed into Kluzak and pulled him over. Gretzky takes the puck, then lost it. And Kluzak will send the Oilers back. A minute 10 left on the power play for Edmonton. Here's the pass to Messier, takes it on the fly, but he couldn't hold it on a stick. And Curry has to come back. Linsman is giving chase. Gave Curry a light bump. Curry had dropped the puck though now. Edmonton's Wayne Gretzky to center. Left wing pass, tipped into the zone by Tikkanen. And moving up on the play is Smith to keep it in. Larson fired it the other way. Nobody was on that side. And it goes all the way back into the Oilers zone. 35 seconds left. In the Boston penalty. Tikkanen coming away from one check. To the line. Tikkanen waits here at the blue line. Now hands it off. Tikkanen again takes it. Winds up, fires, Lincoln Gretzky scores! Beautiful play by Tikkanen. And no problem for Gretzky.
I don't know how many goals Wayne Gretzky scored off to the side of the net, picking up a rebound. He took this pass off his skate and put it behind Moog before Moog could get across the net. Tikkanen had way too much time at the point to look around as the Boston penalty-killing forwards got in way too deep. Watch the length of time Tikkanen has here now. Nobody goes out. Nobody goes out. That gives Gretzky a chance to go around behind the net, and he gives you an imitation of Pele, the soccer star, before he shows you Gretzky, the hockey star, as he kicks it up to his stick and puts it in the net.
That's his 12th goal of the playoffs. Tikkanen and Smith assisting. 9:44 of the time. A power play goal for Edmonton. They're leading now 4-2. The halfway mark of the second period. Oilers up fire. And Atkin coming out. He's in across the line with Calvin giving chase. Atkin gets rid of it. Pushalinsky is moving up on the board. Pushalinsky goes into the corner and gets it out. Gets in front of the net. Pushalinsky turns. Just missed on the short side. Great work by Pushalinsky on that play. Muni fires it back in. Now the Bruins are stuck back in their own zone. For the Oilers, more forechecking in their play. Here's McSorley now. Pass went behind Huddy, but he picked it up okay and got it into Lacombe. Lacombe on the boards for McTavish. And the play is called. I think the Bruins have 6 out there now. Yes, they have too many men on the ice. And there's another penalty against Boston. Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment.
20 seconds, folks.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your finger multiple times a day. US Med's mission is to find ways to make your diabetes more manageable and more comfortable. You deserve to enjoy life without the constant reminder of living with diabetes. You may qualify to receive a continuous glucose monitor with little or no cost to you. Call now for more information. A continuous glucose monitor provides blood sugar readings without uncomfortable finger sticks and alerts you real time to potentially harmful spikes in your blood sugar levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurance companies. If you're a caretaker for someone who suffers from diabetes or have diabetes yourself and meet these conditions, please call our diabetic specialist now to see if you qualify for your continuous glucose monitor.
Call 1-800-605-7967. That's 1-800-605-7967.
Bench penalty against the Boston Bruins. Too many men on the ice here at 10:42. Well, when frustration sets in, it sets in. They had 6 skaters out there in front of the goalie quite some time. Toronto, the linesman picked it up, and there's the penalty call.
You can be sure the Edmonton bench was hollering. None of the three officials saw it for at least 10 or 15 seconds.
Casper made sure the puck got outside the line. Another power play now for Edmonton. They're leading 4-2. And Tikkanen comes back in his own zone. Gretzky is cruising up there near center. Here's Messier with the Jets on again. Messier going in. He couldn't get by Bork, though. The puck hit Bork's skate. Casper looks around. Decides to try to kill some time before getting rid of it. And the Bruins have Middleton and Lindsman over the board. Tikkanen coming out, trying to beat Middleton. Hits Gretzky right on the money. Gretzky in there, put it back to Tikkanen, but Bork got his stick on it. Here's Gretzky again now. Tikkanen in front. He hit the side of the net. He went around the goalie Moog and then hit the side of the net. Moog is furious back there. And the Oilers are allowed to come in on top of him. Middleton, hook check. Simpson up to the ice. Smith bringing it up for Edmonton. To Anderson. Up with Gretzky. Gretzky had to try to kick it across the line. And Anderson was offside when he did. 51 seconds left in the Boston penalty.
Well, Moog's very upset with the referee because of the traffic. And also, I'm sure he's upset with his teammates. But look at the time Tikkanen has again. Moog makes a great play. He won't go down. He won't come off the post. Glenn Wesley stood in front of the net for a long time, trying to make sure that Tikkanen couldn't pass it out to Curry. Wayne Gretzky heading toward another Stanley Cup. You know, they asked Air Jordan, the great NBA Chicago Bulls star, who he'd like to come back as he was reincarnated. He said, Wayne Gretzky. Nobody in any sport has dominated the way he has. He's my idol.
And here's the penalty to the Edmonton Oilers. Johnson was upended at the blue line. And the penalty is being called. And I think it's Anderson who's going. It's a hooking call. There goes Anderson.
Well, this will eliminate the Oiler power play, and have a look at it right here. As Johnson attempts to get back into his own zone, Anderson trips him from behind. 47 seconds left in the Bruin penalty. Bob Joyce. So the Bruins will end up with a minute 13-second power play in 47 seconds. Edmonton 4, Boston 2, 8:05 left in the second period. Come on, Woody.
Wesley with Sweeney. Telvin is the other defenseman. Wesley moving up just for the draw. As they're 4 aside now. And Sweeney wins it. Goes ahead with it. Sweeney in. Gets in the slot, but can't shoot it. Dropped it back to Telvin, though. Telvin with Wesley. Waiting for the pass. But he goes deep to the corner. Now drops it back along the boards to Sweeney. Sweeney in a good spot. And put the shot right at Fjord. It just simply went down and held onto it. Sweeney came in looking for a rebound. And was met by Simpson, or rather Muni and Lowe.
Well, the teams play 4 skaters against 4 so irregularly this year because of, or in the last couple of years, because of the Edmonton coincidental penalty rule, that it's a little different, the defensive zone coverage. And sometimes the players get mixed up a little bit, and the next thing you know, they get a chance that they normally wouldn't get. Edmonton usually just kill you 4 on 4. You don't see it happen very often anymore. Woody. And there's a sign that may be truer than it is clear later on tonight.
Garney is 23, won the draw, but it just trickled into Grant Fuhr, and he tipped it away. Edmonton now has outshot Boston 15-11. Up to this point in the second period. 7:30 left. 4-2 Edmonton. Old Cummers. Wesley right in front of the net, and the damage was there close to him. Smith broke up a play near center, but that was a glove pass to Messier, so they call it.
Well, Mark Messier offensively has not been the player that he was in the other 3 rounds. But if you ask the Bruins who they dislike playing against the most, this guy'd get a lot of votes. He's big, he's strong, he's mean, and he's loaded with talent. He and Anderson and Simpson have been, by their standards, underachieving this series, although Anderson has sprung out of a slump with 6 points in the last 3 games.
He has been pounding Bruins all night. Usually in behind the play. As the play shifts out, he'll keep going, and whoever threw the puck ahead better have his head up. He gets going for the training. Here's Bork coming back. Cabbage and watching the defenseman going back to the net. Now the Bruins have the man advantage. Their penalty is over. Luzak from center shoots it in. Joyce out of the box. He was serving the too many men on the ice penalty. Pass comes down to Messier. He's barreling in there again. Messier away from one check and another. And it bumped by Bork out as far as the line. He dropped it back, and Linsman now takes over. Linsman going in. He has some room now. Linsman right in there. And it's stopped by Pure. The puck bounces down. And Gretzky hammers one the length of the ice, put it right on the net. Bork again moving up across center with 30 seconds left of this power play. Greg has to go back. Pure saw him stumble a bit. Came out of the net to try and clear it. He did. Gretzky is upended. And for one, a penalty on that one. The play continues, though. Gary from center ice. Moving up. Backhands it into the zone, and Pure out again. He clears it. Wesley. 8 seconds left on the power play for Boston. Larson in there. Can't get in a spot for a decent shot at the net, so he drives it to the corner. Sweeney picks it up. Fed it back. Now in front of the net. It'll get to the line, and Larson shot off his stick. The Oilers can't get it out. Here's Neely moving in. Hit the goal post. Yeah, Pure going the other way. A pretty decent shot, but it hit the post. Low and on the post. Middleton now in. Middleton for Boston. Janney on it. Fed a pass in along the boards. Anderson scoops it out to center ice. Only 5:25 remaining in the second period. Edmonton leading by 2 goals. O'Dwyer comes in for Boston. Pure stopping that shot. Smith takes it back to the net. Now Greg gives him a hand. Larson stopped it at the blue line and tried to do it himself. And the Oilers just clear to center. Dwyer shoots it back in. The Bruins make changes. Pure out of the net. Played it to the boards in the corner. And it's slapped out and down the ice by Curry. No icing. Bruins come back to pick it up. Delman starts to play. Got it up to LeMay. Cardinal getting back in, but they're offside at the Boston blue line. 3 of them were going in, well, 1 back, but it was offside.
Opportunities have been reduced considerably by the good checking Edmonton team. Nearly beats Pure with a low 45-footer. Goal post keeps the Oilers 2 goals ahead of the Bruins.
Good, a long shot right on the net. Oilers just playing it carefully now. It hasn't been too deep. They're getting back in their own zone. Trying fashion. Here's McSavage. With McSorley at the blue line. No place to go but to the corner. Moe got to the net. Tried to steer it out. Kept in by McSorley. Sweeney is bumped on the boards. Cardinal can't find the puck though. Lacombe does and gave it to Hoggood. He just rolled it to center ice. Goes in front of the net. He was upended in there and couldn't get a shot. Oilers again coming back. Hurry. He's bumped along the boards. And Huddy takes over for Edmonton. It took a funny hop off the glass and got down in front of the net. Johnston saw it go off his stick, and it went into the crowd again at the far side. And play is called with 3:41 left in the second period. And the Oilers are up 2 goals.
And I think all teams play better with a lead, obviously, but no team plays as well as the Edmonton Oilers do when they get up 2 goals. They know that the Bruins have to open up, pinch when maybe they wouldn't, rush the defense, and they'll pounce on a mistake and make it 5-2 if the Bruins aren't careful.
Sweeney there with Lindsman and Crowder. Buzak has to come back. All the way inside his own line with Anderson moving up on the play. Muni missed it just outside the line. Buzak again. Got away from Anderson this time. Bruins shoot it in. Crowder moving in after it. Crowder hooked it back to the net. Lowe is covering his man in there. And it's tipped out to center ice. There at center. Grabbed by Simpson. He gave it away though. And the Bruins fire it ahead. Sweeney couldn't control that pass. Anderson back for Messier to Lowe. 3 minutes left in the period. That's Muni backing up. Now plays it ahead to the line. Simpson hands it off to Messier. He shoots it in and the Oilers make changes. Curry and Gretzky on the ice again. There's Curry. Nearly stole it. Loose near center ice, and the Bruins shoot it in, but Randy Gregg stopped it in a hurry. He saw Joyce come in. Nearly hit Gretzky with a long pass. Vogt having to play this one. Larson for Boston. Starting back out. Pass hitting Joyce near center. Joyce given very little room by Randy Gregg, though. Keeps with it. And it's Curry just backhanding it off the boards behind the net. Tikkanen moving up. With Curry and Gretzky is trailing. Here's Curry in. Trying to go to the far side, just missed. Now Gretzky hangs on to it. Gretzky got it back to McSorley. And the shot grabbed by Moog. And Andy Moog hangs on to it. McSorley had a chance that time. The Bruins scored first. Casper at 43 seconds. McComb tied it. Lindsman scored. Then Tikkanen tied it. Pushaliski. Giving the Oilers the lead for the first time. And they're leading now 4-2. Gretzky getting the fourth goal. McSorley moves up to the corner. McSorley now in front of the net. Down goes Moog. McSorley again. Another shot. McSorley a little sour about having a real good opportunity from 15 feet inside the blue line. Went after one there. There's McSorley now coming from the corner for Edmonton. Long pass ahead. Off the boards, going down wide of the net. Moog will play it though. With the Oilers coming in there. Saxton in close. Burridge back in for Boston. Burridge in a slot. Again, Kevin Lowe taken out of the play. And the Oilers tap it down across the Boston line. Wesley trying to start something for Boston. Kevin Lowe breaks it up near his own blue line. Gretzky left it there in the center ice area. 1 minute left in the second period. And Kevin Lowe just lifted one into the Boston zone. Bruins running out of gas. They're down 2 goals, and Muni near center ice fires it in. Again, Moog has to come out of the net to stop it. Gretzky just missed it. Now Gretzky flipped it back to the net. And Ray Bourque takes over for the Bruins to Casper. Casper moving up with LeMay. Casper knocked down and Tikkanen got back. Long pass ahead to Gretzky. Gretzky trying to pull away from Talbot. Circles. Now he has Curry coming up with him. Finally, Gretzky knocked down by Talbot. And the Bruins get it to center ice. Lindsman coming in. Pass to the right side. Lindsman comes for the net. Has to go behind the net to pick it up, and Gretzky now will come out again. 10 seconds left in the period as he hits center and across the line. Gretzky, you're in front, score! Wow! 2 seconds left, and don't think he didn't call it.
Well, Craig Simpson's on the end of a masterpiece by the master himself, number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky stalled and stalled and stalled to give Simpson time to go to the net. And then he put the puck on a pillow and dumped it through to the front of the goal.
Let's see if he looks at the clock here. If he takes a little squint up there. They told him from the bench.
He's got the clock going in his head, Bob. He doesn't have to look at the big one over his head. Simpson, Curry both knew enough. Go to the net when Gretzky gets it. You're apt to get it right on the doorstep, and Craig Simpson gets his 13th goal of the playoff, and what an addition he's been to the Edmonton Oilers.
So with that goal by Gretzky, his second of the period, the score at the end of the second period is Edmonton 5, Boston 2. Edmonton leading 5-2. And the Bruins are going to have to open up now. And you know what that could mean? A barrage of pucks for Andy Moog. We'll see. Boston going after an early goal if they can. They're into the zone. Casper bumped on the boards though. Ray Bourque has moved all the way up there. Simpson covered him. Curry's trying to get loose. In behind the net. They fall on it. And the play is called. And there'll be a face-off in the Edmonton zone. So the Bruins come right out and try to get one. They need to. Because in that second period, the goals at 6:38, 9:44, and 19:58, all by the Oilers. Krushelnyski, Gretzky, and Simpson. And Gretzky has a goal and 2 assists in tonight's game. And there's the future. This is Wayne Gretzky. Wedding coming up in July. Janet Jones.
There's Mr. Gretzky, who's paving the highway to the Conn Smythe Trophy.
I think it's safe to say, put that one in the bag too now. The only question is if the Oilers can continue to stymie the Bruins and win the Stanley Cup tonight. With a 3-goal spread, your bet's safe, I'd say. Messier against Linsman. Messier wins the draw. Curry tapped it away on the boards for Gretzky. Gretzky back to Curry. He's away now to center. He has Messier up there with him. Curry slapped it in, and Messier goes in, and Crowder is after him. Messier went down on one knee. Curry comes in with Messier. Curry handling the puck a lot now. Gives it to Messier. Curry! And he slapped it just wide. He passed into Messier and then went for the hole. And Messier put it right on a stick. And he just missed. Bruins headmanning the puck out to center. Crowder going in. Crowder put on strike, got it in front of Linsman. He centered it. Sure. Intercepted that pass. Curry decides he'd better get rid of it. And he does. Comes in front to Tikkanen. He scores! Tikkanen with great effort. Moving in. Would have been icing. But he got there first.
Well, Andy Moog, who should know the boards in this rink, didn't seem to remember what happens when Tikkanen jumped by everybody and was all alone for about 40 feet. And the Oilers know how this puck gets by Andy Moog. He thought it was icing box, and it wasn't, and he pays for that thought.
That makes it 6-2. Now Atkin finds a hole. Rebound! Oh, stop that. Here's McSorley still looking for one. And he drove it wide. Huddy is moving up. Knocked it in behind the net. Jenny going in there against Atkin, and Atkin takes the puck. Took a shot. And a hit. And he missed the net. Neely to center. Neely for Boston, trying to go in there. Ran into Huddy, who fell. It's centered. McClellan will bring it out with Korchelnyski. Up as far as center, and the shot from just outside the line is blocked. Cardinal tried to go in front. The Bruins can't get it out of the zone. Slapped to center ice. Middleton moving in on it. He's alone on the play. The Bruins were making changes. And the Oilers are going in again. Cardinal. Rebound. And it's stopped there by Hawgood. Bruins now. It's really opened up both ways. Into the corner goes Kevin Lowe. Knocked the puck away. Now took back by Muni again. Lowe still trying to get it loose. O'Dwyer does, but the Oilers are all there. And Cardinal sneaks to center again. Played it to Lacombe. Lacombe with Cardinal. Couldn't go in. Middleton circles and comes back out for Boston. couldn't move in on it. Johnston gets it back up to Casper. Casper sees 4 Oilers back there along the blue line. Now he comes back out front to Talbot, moving up. Shoots! Lord picked that one out in fine style. And the Oilers clear it again. Very quickly, 3.5 minutes gone in the third. And the Bruins come in. McSorley took his man in on the boards. Charlie Huddy for Edmonton, starting out. Played it to Messier, and he just rolls it up across the line. And the Oilers are making changes again. Gretzky and Curry on the ice once more. McSorley to Huddy. Back to McSorley. His pass up to Gretzky and to knock it down with his hand. Now threw it in for Tikkanen, but Ford had him covered. Tikkanen and Ford by each other. Huddy is hustling back. Ford coming out. He hits Gretzky with a pass. You know what's in his mind now as he shoots it in and goes after it. But the Bruins are back there to pick it up. Tikkanen missed it. Tikkanen slides it to the corner, and Linsman from there brings it back out. Linsman across center. Played it into Bork. He has to circle back. Now shoots it back to the net, and Kevin Lowe got rid of it. Curry again to Krushelnyski. But Linsman was on him. Now Krushelnyski from Gretzky going in. And a high shot off the glass. Swept it back to the net again. Wesley tries to clear it out, and he does. And Gregg takes it near center. To Gretzky again. Still on there. Gretzky hooks it with his skate. Shoots. Nice save by Moe. And a fine play again by Wayne Gretzky. There's Gretzky still looking for it. Trying to get to the bench. That's what he's doing. They make changes. And the Oilers shoot it in. Long shift for Gretzky.
He's famous for 4-minute shift. He must have learned that.
From the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Bob Cole, Harry Neal, Ron McLean, and Don Sherry in what appears to be a Stanley Cup winning game for the Edmonton Oilers here at the Northlands Coliseum. 5:17 gone in the third. 6-2 is the score. Edmonton. The Boston Bruins. Game effort in the Stanley Cup final, but running out of time. Goals now. Talbot moving up. Stopped inside the line of the Oilers. Smith just flipped it back for the Bruins to go back and get it. Neely leaves it there. Hoggood back to Neely again. That's acted in forechecking. Bruins get it ahead. Canny is covered by Krushelnyski. He stayed right on top of him. Smith hooks it back. Long pass ahead by Gregg. Gets across center ice. Larson beats it ahead for Boston. Casper with the pass goes in. Dropped it back to the left. Casper gets right in. Oh, and Fjord got it stick across in front of the net and made a save on Casper, who was in there on a fine effort. Cardinal intercepts one. That got back outside the line though. Lacombe shot it back in for the Oilers. Huddy pinching in, leaving 2 Bruins to stick to center. Casper and Johnston. Casper scores! Casper, if you're watching Johnston come in front of him, drilled it right by the goaltender. And the Bruins get one back.
Well, the scouting report on Fuhr, if he has a weakness, he'll often give you an area between his legs. And that's where this one goes. Steve Casper's been the best Bruin tonight. Takes the shot. Fuhr's well out there, and you wonder whether the sliding defenseman took his concentration away a little bit. But it wasn't screened. Sorely didn't screen it. He didn't touch it. Fuhr just missed it.
6:35, the time of the goal. The Bruins crowder is in there again. But Lowe had him covered this time. Now Sweeney trying to get loose. Flipped it back and behind. Lowe was turned the other way. That sets into center ice with Anderson taking it in. Anderson trying to pass it back in front and failed. Linsman for Boston. Stopped by Anderson. Checked by Sweeney. Linsman is after it over there, and the Bruins again. Start back up the center, led by Buzak. He fires one in. Pure out, stopping it for Lowe to Tikkanen. Tikkanen skating out slowly, now picking up some speed. Gretzky is in there with him. Tikkanen trying to go in. Got a shot away. And won't stop that. Here's Cam Neely down the right side. Going in, and he can't find any room to shoot it. Anderson again to Gretzky. Gretzky to center. In across the line, Gretzky turning around. Beats a pass to the far side. Smith is going to move up. Smith in on the boards. It's played in front of Tikkanen. Off the skate of Gretzky. Just booted it out to him. Tikkanen was as surprised as Moog was to see the puck fly out front off the skate of Gretzky. He couldn't quite handle it. Again, Gregg. Gretzky is up there. Gretzky has to backhand it in. Tikkanen was covered. During the 9-minute mark of the third period, 6-3, Edmonton has tipped it across the Edmonton blue line. Huddy drops it back. McSorley gives it to Atkins. He's away. Atkins going down. Was stopped before he could get in across the blue line. Allgood just stepped right into him. Sorley shoots it in again. That's Telvin. Down to Johnston. Johnston moving up to center. Played it for the line. Burridge dropped it back. And Fuhrer had to be very good to stop that shot from Casper again. Johnston trying to get inside that Edmonton blue line. Not given too much room. The Bruins want to change. Oilers taking their time, lining up in their own zone nearing the halfway mark of the period. 3 goals, the lead by Edmonton. Korshalinski got it in across the line. Now Linsman fires one down the ice. Low, nearly trapped. Sweeney trying to cut for the net. Low stopped him. Here's Ray Bourque now for Boston. Back in front is down Kuzak. And Fuhrer out to make a neat save. Bourque racing back against Korshalinski. He just shoveled it into the Boston zone.
Grant Fuhrer again out about 20 feet on shots from the point. Not much of a chance of it getting by.
Sweeney bounced one in. Crowder was covered by Cordnell. Cordnell got it to the line. McTavish is moving up on it. McTavish to Cordnell again. Going for the net. Cordnell right in. And Moog hanging on to the post. Cut the angle on him. Sweeney in the center ice area for Boston. Up to Gregg. Who stopped it and gave it to Messier. Messier winds up in for Anderson. Moog out of the net and he'll hold it. And he let it go again. These 2 Bruins skating out. Neither one of them takes it back. Goes in. A high shot. Nowhere near the goal. Candy covered by Anderson. From the line. A long shot. Easy save for Grant Fuhrer. Wesley is coming back there. Slapped it away from Simpson. Larson back with him. He took a hit. Now Joyce picks it up. Goes around the net. Stick handles away. Joyce coming to center. Run away from Gretzky. Into Larson. He was jammed out of the play before he could get a shot by Charlie Huddy. Oilers out again. McSorley flipped it in. Wide of the net. Moog out to stop it. Hooked it away from Tikkanen. Hurry moving in. Huddy stopped it. Now rolled off Huddy and down the ice of McSorley. Sees Gretzky open. He just shoots it into the zone with 8:45 remaining in the third period. Oilers 6, the Bruins 3. And they're getting the champagne ready, you know that now. Here's Gretzky working hard again. Centered it right in front. Nearly got one off. Gretzky kept it in. Tikkanen covered. Telvin picks it up. Pass to the blue line. Casper moving up again. He has the Boston goal in this period. Burridge trying to dig it out. And Curry takes over. It's a great pace now. Both ways. The Bruins and the Oilers. Very little hitting. They've got 6 minutes now. And nobody's had a chance to call anything. No whistles. And here's a chance for the Oilers again. And finally, play called at the blue line.
Like all teams, Hockey Night in Canada are losing 2 valued employees, the technical producer for the East, Joe Nakashima, and the one for the West, Bob McQuay, who are retiring. And I'll only say this about retirement to you two guys, you never get a day off.
Anderson shoots the puck down the ice. Minute 25 left. It'll be an icing call against the Edmonton Oilers. This program is copyrighted and is strictly for the private use of our viewing audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, is strictly prohibited. How sweet it is? The sweet moment comes 1:21 from now. But really, was there any doubt that the Edmonton Oilers would not win the Stanley Cup after their 4 straight sweep of Calgary and then Winnipeg, the Boston Bruins throwing everything at them, really. And here it is, a 3-goal lead late in the 3rd period. Stay tuned for our Molson 3 Stars. Right after the game, a penalty called here now. Burridge was knocked down near center ice.
Well, Andy Van Alleman, who passed King Clancy by doing his 22nd Stanley Cup final game, is 3rd on the list in the National League now. Frank Berry, 24. Bill Chadwick, 42. Quite a compliment to the best referee in the National League, Andy Van Alleman. The Oilers pick up a late penalty here. John Muckler, the associate Oiler coach, will he be a head coach with some other team in the National League next year? I think not. That's Glenn Sather's call this summer.
Bruins get another power play with little over a minute left. Bort comes back. Starts out from his own goal. Gets it ahead to Lindsman. Less than a minute now. And the crowd feeling great about it all. It's just about over. Bort's shot kicked away by Pure. Puck outside the line. There's Lindsman trying to find some room to poke it in. 37 seconds left. From the coaches to the goaltender and everyone in between. You're looking at a superb hockey machine to a man. They've done their job very, very well. Bruins in. Ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast, the 1988 Stanley Cup champions, the Edmonton Oilers, have won it again. First taste. Gretzky and company, they're fourth.
Well, I believe that contrary to popular thought, the first taste of the Stanley Cup is the best, unlike some of the wine you and I have enjoyed this spring, bringing the Stanley Cup playoffs to Canadians from coast to coast. The best team won it again.
with the Boston Bruins this hockey season.
This is only his second year and not even 2 full years. He'll be a much better coach next year than he was this year. There's nothing like 24 Stanley Cup games to improve yourself as a coach, and his assistant, John Cunningham, is a valuable addition. And the Boston Bruins are another team who have got younger and better. That's hard to do. Wayne Gretzky will shortly lead the Edmonton Oilers in a traditional skate around the rink. 361 days ago, he did it. In September, he did it with his teammates in Hamilton at Cox Coliseum. 3 Stanley Cup marches in 1 calendar year. Bob, that's my definition of a heck of a season.
And there you're looking at the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Wayne Gretzky. And again, not really any surprise. Number 99 wins his second Conn Smythe Trophy. And his team wins this cup for the 4th time. John Siegler, the president of the National Hockey League, will now present the Stanley Cup to the captain of the Oilers, Wayne Gretzky, and this place will rock one more time.
Number 99, Wayne Gretzky.
There's the announcement of the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. And do you think he is not popular with his teammates? You betcha.
Well, I don't think anyone can argue that. His popularity, his skill, or his season. And he's still got a long time to play, and I'm for one. I hope he decides to play well into the 30s.
He's a great guy, a fabulous hockey player. He's just something else for this game of hockey. Wayne Gretzky, Conn Smythe Trophy winner again. And now he'll receive the Stanley Cup. And listen to this crowd at the Northlands Coliseum.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Well, there's not a young hockey player in Canada, or North America for that matter, that wouldn't love to have his name on that cup. And Wayne Gretzky, for the 4th time in 5 years, hoists it over his head, much to the delight of his teammates and to the people who have supported the Edmonton Oilers all year long. They're passing the torch, and Bob, with the youth movement that Sater's been able to engineer and make his team get better every year, this may become a habit.
And I'll bet you that Glenn Sather will make 1 or 2 changes before next season. And you might see this scene all over again. It's going to be a tough chore to dethrone the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, here are 2 newcomers, Portland and Lacombe. What a privilege it is to lift that baby over your head.
The parade around the ice by the victorious Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup champions, 1988. There's Keith Acton now with Montreal and Minnesota. And he's here in Edmonton, and you think he's not happy? Here's another, Marty McSorley.
Marty McSorley turned into a defenseman just before the playoffs and did a wonderful job. And Smith, who probably was the best defenseman in this series, and Charlie Huddy playing his first game since Game 3 against Detroit. But there's the guy who's the chief engineer of this team.
There is the man, the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
That's Marty McSorley's father. He's shaking hands with down here at the end of the rink. We saw him last year. And there's a lot of the parents here. Greg Simpson's older brother Dave, who graduated a few weeks ago from Western Ontario University, and quite a hockey player in his own right, told me he wouldn't miss seeing his brother in the Stanley Cup.
And now the trainers get into it.
And the players who didn't play, Jeff Bukaboom, who played every game except this one, Charlie Huddy replacing him.
And the trainers just getting off the bench now. These are all the backup players for Edmonton, you see in the sweatsuits.
Jeff Bukaboom, I'm sure, players aren't thinking of it now, but later on in June when they get a fancy check for $25,000, they'll admit that the money isn't everything, but on the middle of June it helps.
Wayne Gretzky has taken the cup, and he's put it down at the Oilers emblem there, just outside that blue line, and the team, sweatsuit people and all, gather around the captain of the Oilers so that the TV people and the newspaper photographers can record this great moment for the Edmonton Oilers. You talk about togetherness and organization and discipline, and who's running the show? 99.
He's telling Sather, I've taken enough orders from you. You get out here and pose in this picture. You don't win this thing without good direction. Ownership, management, and coaching. The Oilers got it all. There's the owner sitting behind the cup. Muckler and Sather will lay me together next year. Teddy Green, who I think's often a forgotten man on the coaching staff.
This is the first. Now they're calling for the trainers to come out. And here they come. I guess, Harry, it doesn't matter how many cups you win. They're all terrific. What an understatement. The Stanley Cup.
It's a marathon, really a marathon to win the cup. And don't forget, there are a lot of the key Oilers who started practice August the 1st this year and led Canada to the Team Canada Cup Championship in September. What a long season it's been for some of them. Sather still has a few more people he wants in on this curtain call. And here comes Ted Green, who roared down from the press box to get in on this. Lauren Davis, the chief scout. Eddie Chadwick, Barry Fraser, Ace Bailey. They're all in that picture somewhere, and so they should be.
This is indeed a first. The Oilers organization has done a tremendous job with security here. Fans have been prevented from getting onto the ice, and only the media people are out there now with the 88 champions, the Edmonton Oilers. And a team picture has been done. An historic moment, no question. And the Oilers feel it's time now to take the cup one more time to the Edmonton dressing room. And the celebrations are on.
Barry Fraser, man responsible for drafting a lot of these players. Win Sather, among other things, is the best delegator of responsibility and authority to the people in his organization. And that's the reason he can coach and manage. These guys have spent hours, miles, seeing 150 or more games. The scouts are right in the middle of it, so they should be. Here we are in the Oilers dressing room.
And Chris Cuthbert, we're happy to say, is along with our Hockey Night in Canada crew, and he'll be in there in the Oilers room in just a little while, and we'll get a chance to hear from the 88 champions, the Edmonton Oilers.
This is the 5th year the Stanley Cup stays in Canada, and this year there were more American teams fighting for it later in the playoffs than ever before. The Oilers are keeping it. There are a lot of people watching this telecast think it should stay.
And the fun breaks loose in the Edmonton room. The pressure released. Finally, it's over. We call this a 4-game sweep in nearly 5 games.
Well, they won the games in a hurry. One of the reasons why the Oilers, I think, won the cup as easily as they did, and it wasn't easy, don't get me wrong, was that they got time between every round to recover if they were half hurt, to regenerate their enthusiasm. And we know the Boston Bruins came from 7 games against New Jersey and 5 tough ones against Montreal and 6 against Buffalo. By the time they got to the finals, a lot of them were hurt and most of them were tired.
And so the final score in this final game, the Edmonton Oilers winning the Stanley Cup 6, the Boston Bruins 3. And our Stanley Cup coverage continues in a moment.